Bonjour, let's conjugate the verb trouver, which means to find, in the present tense, in the past tense, and in the future tense. Okay, let's have a look at the verb trouver. Now, trouver is a first group verb. That means it is a regular verb, which is really handy for you because you will understand in a minute why. Now, trouver means to find, okay, quite to find, but can sometimes means to think, okay? And we are going to find an example of find or use an example which uses that meaning, as in thinking meaning. Okay, now I would like to conjugate the verb trouver in the present tense. Now, because it is a regular verb, it has an ER ending, it's going to be really easy to conjugate. All you need to do is follow certain endings, depending on the subject pronoun you use. So, for je, it is I. For tu, it's IS, okay? For il, elle, on, it's I. For nous, it's ONS. For vous, it's EZ. And for il and elle, it's ENT. All you need to do is drop the ER and add those endings. And then you have the verb trouver in the present tense. So basically it means I find or I am finding. You find or you are finding. Okay, now remember that the ing form does not exist in French, so we've got to do it one way, that way. Je trouve, I find. Tu trouves, you find. Il trouve, he finds. Elle trouve, she finds. On trouve, one find. Nous trouvons, we find. Vous trouvez, you find. Ils trouvent, they find. Elles trouvent, they find. Okay? So, very easy. I know that we have this S and this ENT sound, but it's always the same sound, by the way. It's a sound. Regardless whether it has an S or an ENT, it's a. So, trouve, okay? Except for nous and except for vous. If I were to use these in an example, I could say, Tom trouve de l'argent sous le sofa. Tom trouve de l'argent sous le sofa. So, Tom finds some money under the sofa. Tom finds some money under the sofa. Okay? Now, how would you translate this one? Charlotte et Tom trouvent un bon hôtel à Paris. Charlotte and Tom find a good hotel in Paris. Now, not that. Trouve as ENT here. Why? Yeah, why? Okay. Now, Charlotte and Tom, if you had to replace this subject by a subject pronoun, it would be they. They find. So have a look at they. In French, it is il, I-L-S, okay? And what is the ending when we use il? It's E-N-T. So Charlotte et Tom trouvent, and not trouvant, trouve un bon hôtel à Paris. And the third example, je trouve que tu as beaucoup de talent. And that is the meaning, not I find, but I find as well as to think. I find that, I think that. You have a lot of talent, okay? And this is the meaning, the second meaning of trouver, if you wish. Je trouve que tu as beaucoup de talent. I find that you have a lot of talent. I think that you have a lot of talent. Okay? Right, this was the present version. Now let's have a look at the passé composé, the action that took place in the past and is gone done over with. So we are going to learn how to say I found, you found, he found, and so on. The way we do it is by conjugating the verb avoir in its auxiliary form present tense, j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, and then we add what we call a past participle to it. So trouver, drop the R and add an accent. Very, very easy when it's a regular verb. It's always the same pattern. Drop the R, add an accent. J'ai trouvé. Tu as trouvé. So that means I found, you found. But it also means I have found, you have found. Il a trouvé. He has found. It's in the past. Elle a trouvé. On a trouvé. Nous avons trouvé. We have found. Vous avez trouvé. You have found. Ils ont trouvé. They have found. Elles ont trouvé. They have found. Okay? So have a look at that again. Okay, what I'd like to do is actually keep the same examples that I used in the present tense and try to put them into the past tense. So, whereby in the beginning we said Tom trouve de l'argent sous le sofa, he finds money under the sofa. How would you say Tom found or has found some money under the sofa? Well, you need to know where is Tom in that list. Is he il? Is he je? Is he nous? Vous? What is he? Well, Tom is he, isn't he? So it's il. Tom a trouvé de l'argent sous le sofa. Tom has found some money under the sofa. Now, what about the Charlotte and Tom example? Charlotte et Tom trouvent un bon hôtel à Paris. But you want to say they found a good hotel in Paris. It is. Charlotte et Tom ont trouvé un bon hôtel à Paris. Well done. Okay, now let's have a look at the last one. I find or I think that you have a lot of talent. J'ai trouvé que tu avais beaucoup de talent. I found that you had a lot of talent. Okay? J'ai trouvé que tu avais beaucoup de talent. So, this was my example using the passé composé of trouver. Now, let's have a look at the future tense. The future tense is really easy to conjugate, especially when you use a first group verb, a regular verb. Make sure that your sound is the re sound at the end in the future tense. Otherwise, we won't know as a French person when the action takes place. So, je trouverai, I will find. Remember, it's a future tense. Tu trouveras, you will find. Il trouvera, he will find. Elle trouvera, she will find. On trouvera, one will find. Nous trouverons, we will find. Vous trouverez, you will find. Ils trouveront, they will find. Elles trouveront, they will find. Okay, make sure that you have this ra and the rond sound so we know that you're talking in the future tense. Now, let's have a look at our examples. Now, this one is slightly more tricky. I'll tell you why. Because I can't do the last one in the future tense. It makes no sense when putting it in the future tense. As in, I will find that you will have lots of talent. Makes no sense. So, I've decided to use another one. Now, for Tom finding money under the sofa, it's easy. Tom trouvera de l'argent sous le sofa. Tom trouvera de l'argent sous le sofa. Okay? Tom will find some money under the sofa. Okay? Now for the second one, Charlotte et Tom trouveront un bon hôtel à Paris. Charlotte et Tom trouveront un bon hôtel à Paris. Okay, so these ones are easy. Once you have one example, you can put them in different tenses. That's easy. And the last one, je trouverai un bon hôtel pour nous. So using je, I will find a good hotel for us. Je trouverai un bon hôtel pour nous. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is have a look at these three tenses again for the verb trouver, which means to find, but sometimes it means to think. Okay, why don't you have a look at the support guide that comes with this lesson available at learnfrenchwithalexa.com, as well as other verbs conjugated. Trouver will be conjugated in the conditional and the imperfect tense exclusively on my website, learnfrenchwithalexa.com. And leave a comment here on YouTube. Why don't you subscribe to my YouTube channel? It's awesome. That's it for me. Au revoir. À bientôt. Bisous, bisous.